In this lecture we are going to discuss boundary conditions. Okay, so whenever there are two different dielectrics, right, let us say this is one dielectric and this is the other dielectric. Okay, so this is the interface, right, or you can say boundary between the two dielectrics. Here the permittivity is epsilon 1, here permittivity is epsilon 2. Okay, then the conditions that the field, the electrostatic field must satisfy, okay, at the interface is called as the boundary conditions. Okay, so it will become more clear to you when we discuss the conditions. Okay, so we will be using three equations. First equation is integral E bar dot dl bar is equal to 0. Okay, the integral around a closed path is 0, right? And this second equation, so these equations we have already discussed, but I am just rewriting here. We will be using for the derivation of boundary conditions, we will be using these equations. Okay, and next equation is the Gauss law. Integral surface integral d bar dot ds bar, this is Q enclosed. Okay, and finally, so this is not exactly an equation, but this is decomposition of the electric field into the tangential and the normal components. So what is the tangential component, what is the normal component? So basically we know that any vector, it can be resolved into two orthogonal components, right? So if this is E bar, then you will have one horizontal component. So if this angle is theta, this is E cos theta, and you will have the vertical component, this will be E sin theta, right? Now similarly here Et and En, these are orthogonal components. So Et bar is the tangential component. Okay, so this is nothing but it is in a direction which is tangential to the medium interface, right? That is the boundary. Okay, and what is En bar? En bar is the normal component. Okay, so normal to the medium interface. Okay, so we are resolving the electric field into two components. The first case is the dielectric boundary. Okay, so we are considering two dielectrics of different permittivities. Okay, so if you can take this is the interface boundary, let us say. Okay, so above this interface there is a medium of permittivity epsilon 1, and below this interface there is a medium of permittivity epsilon 2. Okay, so in the first medium, this is the first medium and this is the second medium, let us say. Now the electric field here in medium 1, let us say this is E1. Okay, then what will be the tangential component? It will be tangential to the surface. Okay, so this is E1t bar. So this is the one component, and the other component, it will be normal to the surface. So what is that? It is E1n bar. Okay, since it is in medium 1, we are using the subscript 1. Okay, and similarly you can have the electric field E2 here. Okay, so here also the tangential vector here you can draw, right? This is the tangential vector. So this we are representing as E2t. Okay, and the normal vector will be in this direction. Okay, so it is going to be E2n. Okay, this is how the electric field is in the first and the second medium. So E1 bar, it will be E1 t bar plus E1 n bar, and similarly E2 bar will be E2 t bar plus E2 n bar. Okay, so these are the two equations. Now at this interface we will consider one loop, okay, some random loop, but this is a rectangular, in the rectangular shape, okay. So here let us take this direction in the clockwise sense, okay. Now we can apply the, what we can apply here, the integral E bar dot dl we can apply, line integral. So if you name this as A, B, C and D, okay, then if you apply line integral along the path A, B, C, D and then back to A, okay. So what will that be? E bar dot dl, this is going to be 0 because it is a closed loop. Line integral of electric field over a closed line is 0, okay. So this you can write as integral, or you can just write along path first AB plus along BC plus along CD plus DA, okay. This should be 0. Now if you see each of these cases, along AB, if you see the diagram, along AB, what will be the line length? The line length, let us say it is delta W, okay. So this line length we are taking as delta W, okay, and this height we will take as delta H. So if you draw this loop outside, this is the interface. So interface I will draw on a different line. So this is the interface, and what is the length here? This is delta W, and this whole length is delta H, but we are taking a symmetrical loop, so this will be delta H by 2, and similarly this also will be delta H by 2, okay. So we are going in this direction. Now if you take the first line integral along AB, okay, so AB, along this AB, what is the electric field that is present? It is in medium 1. So E1 T bar, the tangential component of the electric field will be present, and it will be constant all through, okay. So you can take it out of the integral, and integral dl will be left, that is nothing but the entire length, that is delta W. So here you can write integral along AB is E1T into delta W, okay. So since this is the dot product, the resultant will be what? It will be a scalar, okay. So this is the line integral along AB, okay. Now along BC if you take, this is going to be slightly different, okay. So if you see the diagram here, for half of it, from B, the point B to the interface, what will be the electric field that is present? E1N, and that too E1N is in this direction, away from the interface, but we are going line integral, we are going in the opposite direction, okay. So it will be minus E1N into delta H for the half of it, okay. So it is delta H by 2, not delta H but delta H by 2, and for the other half, that means from the interface to the point C, what will be the line integral? Here the electric field is E2N, okay, and here also E2N is in the opposite direction, opposite to the direction in which we are taking the line integral, okay. So here also minus E2N into delta H by 2. So you can write here the integral along BC is going to be minus E1N into delta H by 2 minus E2N into delta H by 2, okay. And along CD, what will be the line integral? This is going to be, see if you see here, where line integral is from C to D, but the tangential component, this is the second medium, right? So E2T will be present, and E2T is in the opposite direction. See, CD is in this direction, E2T is in this direction. So here also you are going to have negative sign, minus E2T into delta W, okay. And next is DA, just similar to BC, but here now it is going to be positive values because we are going from D to A. E2n is also in the same direction, E1n also in the same direction, so you're going to get positive values. Okay, so plus E1n into delta H by 2, so you can take E2n because we're coming from the second medium. Okay, plus E1n into delta H by 2. Okay, so now if you add all four, okay, so we will add all the four, so you're going to get E1t into delta W minus E1n into delta H by 2 minus E2n delta H by 2 minus E2t delta W plus E2n delta H by 2 plus E1n delta H by 2. All this is 0. Okay, so here you can see this E2n and minus E2n delta H by 2, so they will get cancelled. Okay, so they will get cancelled. Similarly, E1n delta H by 2, and here you have plus E1n, here you have negative. Okay, so they will also get cancelled. So what are the left out components here? E1t delta W minus E2t delta W. So what is the final expression that you're going to get? E1t delta W is equal to E2t delta W. That means the tangential component is going to remain the same. Okay, so this means that the tangential component will be same, so there is no change at the boundary with respect to the tangential component. So this is one boundary condition, and from here you can get the flux density as well, right? So we know that what is E1t in terms of flux density? It is d1t divided by epsilon 1. This will be equal to E2t is d2t by epsilon 2. Okay, so this is the condition for flux density. Okay, so we can see that E1t and E2t are the same, right? Tangential component of electric field is not changing. Okay, so we can say that the electric field is continuous at the boundary, but the same is not the case for d1t. So electric flux density. Okay, it is changing at the boundary. The flux density is going to change. Now we will see what will happen to the normal component. So here also we will just redraw this interface, right? So here we have D1. Okay, so this component and this component, what will be the horizontal component? It is the tangential component, which is D1t, and the vertical component is normal to the surface, which is D1n. Okay, so D1 you can write here. Okay, and similarly you will have the in the second medium also. This is the first medium, this is the second medium. Permittivity is epsilon 1, here permittivity is epsilon 2. Okay, so here also you will have the flux density. So this is D2, and the tangential component, this is D2 T bar, right? And the normal component, this is what? D2 N bar. Okay, so here what you will take is, you will take a kind of a cylinder. Okay, this is called as a pillbox. So a cylindrical Gaussian surface, we call it as a pillbox. Okay, now you can apply the Gauss law here. So what is the Gauss law? The enclosed charge is equal to integral d bar dot ds bar. So if you take the cylindrical, the curved surface side, okay, so the curved surface side, what happens? The flux is entering and then it is leaving at another point. So whatever flux is entering the cylinder through the closed surface, it is going to again come out of it, right? If you take the tangential component, okay, but if you take the normal component, what is happening? D1n is coming out of this surface, okay, and through this bottom surface you have D2n, not D1n, okay, so that will not be vanished, but the curved surface area, this curved surface area, it is going to get vanished. D bar dot ds is going to be 0, okay. So the contribution due to sides will be 0 or they will vanish. Okay, so only due to the top and bottom surface will be present. Okay, so here what we will do, we will take this height to be delta H and the area to be delta S. So delta S is so small that we are taking, anyways d1n is uniform everywhere, so we are taking d1n you can take out of the integral. Okay, so you can write here Q enclosed is equal to d1n into delta S. Integral ds is nothing but the total surface area. Okay, so here we have taken a positive sign because d1n is coming out of the surface. Okay, in contrast, if you take the bottom surface, d2n is entering into the surface, so it should be having a negative value. So minus d2n into delta S. Then what about this Q enclosed? Okay, so here we can assume that delta H is very small, it is almost 0. That means what? There is only one surface present, that surface is delta S. Okay, so if the charge density, the surface charge density is rho S, then you can write Q enclosed is equal to rho S delta S, where rho S is the surface charge density. Okay, so what will the equation become? It will become rho S delta S is equal to d1n into delta S minus d2n into delta S. So finally d1n minus d2n is equal to rho S. Okay, so here there might be one confusion, d1n minus d2n. Why not, like in what cases it will be d2n minus d1n, like which medium you can take as 1 and which medium you can take as 2, because this is entirely arbitrary, right? Here what is happening, if you see the surface, this is medium 1, we took it arbitrarily, and this is medium 2. So why it is only d1n minus d2n? So this is because of the direction in which we took. Okay, so whichever medium which we take, the d1n we have taken here from the boundary to away from the boundary, and d2n is going towards the boundary. Okay, so whichever is going towards the boundary, that we take as negative. Okay, so d1n minus d2n is equal to rho S. And if no free charges are present, this is the third boundary condition, and if no free charges are present at the interface, then what will be rho S? This will be equal to 0. Okay, in that case d1n will be equal to d2n. Okay, so this means that the normal component is not going to change. Okay, and you can write down what will be the normal component of the electric field E1n, right? So d1n will be epsilon 1 E1n, and this will be equal to epsilon 2 E2n. So this is the relation for the electric field. So electric field is not continuous. Normal component of electric field is not continuous. Okay, the tangential component of electric field is continuous because it is not changing at the interface, but electric flux density, the tangential component of electric flux density was different. For the normal component, electric flux density is the same, it doesn't change at the interface, but the normal component of electric field is going to change. Next is the case of dielectric and a conductor boundary. So this is pretty straightforward. If you take this medium 1 as the dielectric, then this is going to have a permittivity, let us say epsilon 1. Okay, and the second medium, if it is a conductor, then what will happen in a conductor? In the static equilibrium condition, there is going to be no electrostatic field. That means E bar is equal to 0. So what will happen? The tangential component of electric field, if you remember, E1t is equal to E2t. So if you take this as E2 and this as E1, E2t is 0 because E2 bar is 0. Okay, so that means what will happen to the tangential component of electric field? This is also going to be 0. Okay, so there will be no tangential component. You can use the line integral as well. Okay, integral E bar dot dl you can use and you can get the same result. Okay, just like in the previous case. Directly if you want to take, you can just take the final formula. This was the dielectric condition, but since E2t is 0 here, E1t will also be 0. Okay, and similarly the tangential component of flux density will also be 0. Okay, so this is for the dielectric to conductor medium. And what about the normal component? So the normal component is d1n minus d2n is equal to rho s. That's what we derived. Okay, and once again, since the E2 bar is 0, E2n, see here, E2t is equal to 0 and E2n is also equal to 0. So if E2n is 0, then D2n is also 0. So what will be the condition here? D1n is simply equal to the charge density rho s. Okay, so this is the second boundary condition for dielectric conductor.